Hello, everyone. As I'm recording this, it's early Saturday afternoon, June 27th. And this will be our devotion for today and for Sunday, June 28th, and also for Monday, June 29th. And then I'll have another one on June 30th, the last day of the month. So I want to offer a reflection on this. It's all about doing not just the right thing, but doing it at the right time. I mean, I wish I could think of almost like a silly example of this. Maybe this would be a good point. My spouse likes to make bread. I'm not very good at it. Part of the process of making bread is letting it rise. And also you have to knead it. But here's the thing, you don't knead the bread after you've already baked it. And you don't let it rise after you've already baked it. If you set it out on the counter and expect it to get bigger after it's already been baked, well, that's not going to work. Now, you of course need, no pun intended, need to knead the bread. You need to let bread rise. But if you do it at the wrong time, it won't be beneficial. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I think that we all are living in an important time. We are living in a time when there's a lot of things going on in our society that are troubling. There's a lot of people out of work. There are thousands and thousands of people, I guess more than 40,000 yesterday, getting sick of the coronavirus. And some of them will not survive. And we've been made aware, but it's not a new question, that racism hamstrings the United States. That racism, because it hurts people, is morally wrong, and it hamstrings us. Because it is baked into our society, it means that some people are never allowed to reach their full potential, and they're never allowed to be the blessing to the world that God created them to be. So I wanted to read a passage that I thought about as I thought about these three things, that I've frankly thought about a lot in recent weeks because they're in front of us. It's one verse. Jesus is speaking. Luke chapter 14, verse 27. Jesus said to those who would seek to follow him, "Whoever does not carry the cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." Or in some other translations, "Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." Now, why am I saying that that's connected with these other things? Well, here's the reality. I think in order for things to get better in our society, for the COVID-19 pandemic to lessen, for the economic situation to get better for some people just to have enough to eat, for us to combat racism in our society, for us to combat all the struggles in our society, pollution and drug addictions and many other struggles, it's going to require us to sometimes make decisions that won't make us comfortable. And often when we go to the Bible or when we go to church or we go to Scripture, at least in my experience, we come looking for comfort, and that's okay because God is our loving parent and God knows that we all need comfort. Just as a baby needs to be comforted as it cries, all of us, no matter our age, need comfort. But we cannot expect that doing the right thing will be comfortable all the time. And so, I ask all of us, and I'm doing this myself, what is some aspect of our comfort that we may need to give up right now? That we may need to give up for the benefit of someone else? You know, it might be it's become one of the big divisive issues in our society of wearing a mask or not. But if wearing a mask keeps me from making somebody else sick, I think it's important. It might also mean that we might have to think, I need to give more of whatever financial resources I have away this year and maybe not take that vacation this year because there's some other people that need to eat. It may be that I've got to look hard within myself and see, have I acted in racism? Or put another way, do I have bias against people who are different than me in some way? And it may not even be racism. Do I have bias against people who have different chromosomes than me, who are a different gender than me, or who have a different background in some other way completely. Or maybe we have to say something else. Maybe I know what I want to eat, I know how I want to live, and I know if I keep doing that, I'm not going to have as many years with my children or my grandchildren as I want to. I don't know what uncomfortable choices we might need to make, but we have to remember that Christ does not call us to be comfortable all the time. Christ promises we will always be loved, and Christ promises us, and I believe this, and I've experienced this, that to love God and to love others is in fact the purpose and brings us the greatest joy in life. But doing the loving thing won't always be comfortable. So I ask you to prayerfully consider, what might God be calling you to do that is uncomfortable but is needed to be of some blessing to those around us? I hope that gives you something to think about. I wish you peace. I'll talk to you in a few days. God bless. Goodbye.